Alright, so this is Rebecca with Off-White Living, and we are on the scene in Davis, California, and we're cooking up some greens. So what we have today is some collard greens that we're going to cook in the frying pan. Now a lot of people, when you think of green vegetables, they think of things like broccoli and bell peppers and things like that, but nobody seems to think of the dark leafy greens. So I'm going to show you today how you can make dark leafy greens really tasty. So all we did actually is just take the leaves and de-rib them and chop them up into more or less bite-sized-ish pieces. You don't have to get too technical here. And then if you look over here, we just added a little bit of butter and olive oil to a skillet, a non-reactive skillet. So the deal is you want to cook them with fat because of all the great fat-soluble vitamins that you get in green veggies. You need a little fat to pair with that in order to get the vegetables and absorb them. But they also taste better, and let's face it, if you're going to eat greens, they better taste good. So the trick to cooking greens is what I call slow and low. So you want low heat so that your oils and your fats don't get too hot and then burn, and then that kind of ruins them. And you also want to really open up the ruggedness of the greens, and that takes a little time. So I'm just going to spread this around a little bit. I just did a bit of olive oil and butter to kind of help balance the saturated and unsaturated fat. And then I'm going to take the greens. Whoops, lost a few there, and I'm just going to kind of pile them in. It's sort of a messy job, but what's cooking without a little mess, right? So, ooh, okay, so that tells me it's a little high. I want to turn it down a bit. And then I immediately want to coat the greens. So I'm just going to move them around in the pan, get them all juiced up. This is going to make them, as I said, tastier and also a little softer, and make those great vitamin K and all the dark phytonutrients that you see. That's what makes them really dark, make them more accessible. So
what's good about vitamin K?
Vitamin K is your anti-clotting vitamin, so it's really important for keeping your clotting factor in your blood really healthy. The other thing with green veggies that a lot of people don't know is that they are your anti-sugar craving helper. Dark green veggies, because of the chlorophyll in them, are like the antithesis of wanting carbs. So they're real anti-inflammatory. They also have a bitter principle, and bitter is a flavor that we don't eat a whole lot of in the States, but the reason why it's good is that it makes the digestive system have to work optimally, and again, it kind of counters that desire for sweet, which we tend to always have, and I'm one of those people, so I need these. So to make it tastier, I'm actually going to add a little flavor by putting in some lemon juice. Adds a little sour principle. It also just kind of pops the flavor a bit. Just maybe about a third of a lemon for a whole bunch of collards. Your choice on that. And then I'm taking a clove of garlic, just putting it in a press, nothing fancy. And I'm just going to squeeze her on in. This is a little bit of an old garlic press, so gotta get some strength going on here. And then I'm just going to kind of use my knife and cut off the garlic. And then last thing I'm going to add is some beautiful Himalayan sea salt. So notice how it's pink and crystalline. That means that it's not the same as the table salt that you get at the store for like 79 cents. This is actually kind of spendy, but this will last forever. And it's actually pure salt that's been extracted from different regions of the world. So Himalayan sea salt, hence the name, it's from the Himalayas. But there's actually real good nutrients in here. They're called ions. They're minerals, basically, that you want from your salt. And you can't get that in regular table salt. So splurge on your salt. Or at least get sea salt if you don't get Himalayan salt. So I'm just putting a few turns in there, you know, your choice on that. Cooking with salt kind of brings out the flavor of things too, so don't be too afraid of it, especially the good quality salt. Actually really good quality salt. This is like a salt and greens education here. Really good quality salt is actually, you don't need as much. It's a lot more potent than a regular table salt, so you can kind of cut the volume a bit, and that helps you with your high cholesterol and your high blood pressure, not really your cholesterol. So look at how nice and sauteed they're getting. Again, I'm on a low temperature here, so I'm not trying to burn these puppies. I want to keep it slow and low so that the fats don't get too hot, and so that I'm not just killing all the nutrients in the greens. I'm going to try to spread the garlic around a bit and just kind of let the flavors meld into each other with the lemon and the garlic and the salt. And you want to cook them so that they're not like super wilty, because You want them to have a little bit of crunch, just on a 10 scale, maybe like a 3 or so. Some people like them a little bit rougher than that, but if you're first eating them, I would say don't make them too rough because your digestive system might not be able to handle it. It's called roughage for a reason, and collards are really rough if they're not cooked, and for some people they cause a little digestive distress. So you want them soft but not mush. So these are almost done.
Does cooking in fat help with the digestion of these?
It does, actually. Cooking in fat is really important for the digestion of greens because you can access the vitamins, like I said before, but also, that roughage effect is softened a little bit when you've got fats. You can think of really healthy fats like they're lube in the tube, so to speak, and so that helps with the fibrous effect of vegetables as well as the nutrients. So these are pretty much done. I mean, I've probably been talking for, less than 5 minutes, maybe? 5-ish? So as you can see, it doesn't take a whole lot to take what looks like a crazy foreign vegetable like collard greens and make it into something that you could now put as a side dish, or you could put a little bit of chicken over this and have a little saute. You could actually stir fry up some other veggies and maybe some meat if you want that, or tofu, and have a stir fry dinner. You could put this over brown rice or quinoa. There's just lots of things you could do with it. It's pretty versatile, kind of like a spinach might be. I've even seen people put it in their omelets. So you got options. And that's it for Off-White Living, and we'll see you next time.